Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion is called Parshas Tetzaveh, and it's primarily about the clothing of the Kohanim who served in the tabernacle, the moving temple that the Jewish people used in the desert. There's a very interesting question. Okay, the part of the garment, the outer garment, the robe of the high priest, it says it's B'shuli Abeged. At the end of the garment, there were little bells. Why would there need to be bells on the robe of the high priest? It would be the opposite. You would think that the high priest is the most sublime service to God. He's the most connected. He doesn't have to do it with any noise. So the Medrash says no. The Medrash says that when the high priest would go into the sanctuary, he would be like a confidant of the king going to meet with the king. It would be appropriate to let everybody know that he's coming, and then all of the king's associates, his courtiers, will leave to make room for this confidant of the king. Right? The same way the sanctuary was filled with angels, and it was important that the high priest would have these bells to tell the angels that he's coming in for a private audience with Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the King of Kings, the King of Kings. Okay, beautiful. The Rebbe has a different way of explaining it that was very touching to me. Okay, when the high priest would go into the sanctuary, he would be representing all of the Jewish people, not just the tzaddikim, even the people that were far away from serving God. Right? These are people who were called people on the periphery, people at the end of the garment, people who were at the bottom of the spiritual ladder. Okay, and so when the high priest would go in, all of them would come in with him. These people that were at the end of the spiritual ladder, when they decide that they want to come back into holiness, when they decide they want to get away from evil, they're literally running, they're escaping. When a person is drowning, he's shouting with all of his might, he's waving his hands. That's the same way. So when the high priest would go with the bells ringing, he would be bringing in even those people that were far away that still want to connect to Hashem. What do we learn from it today for you and me? The first thing is, if we're getting ourselves back into Yiddishkeit, don't be embarrassed if sometimes we don't do things exactly the same as everybody, if we pray with a little extra fervor. Furthermore, for those of us that are looking at the people around us, don't look askance at a person who's getting all the details straight and who's trying hard to return. But even more important, we're a whole generation of people on the periphery, a whole generation of people at the end of the spiritual ladder. We ourselves have to be shouting. It's okay to put on tefillin. It's okay to study Torah. It's okay to keep Shabbos. We have to create an environment that those people that are even far away will feel comfortable coming in. It's not a time for quiet service. It's a time for shouting of holiness. Shabbat Shalom.